Now, Sony came out because they're talking about their indie games, and they've always been a big promoter of indie games. However, lately they've kind of been stepping back, and Microsoft and Nintendo's kind of been filling their shoes. What Sony said, they said one of the things you didn't really show were indie games. He said one of the things we have realized is that video collages of 10 indie games shown in a minute is almost meaningless. Nobody can really learn anything about the game that sort of time. It's almost viewed as a waste of time. There was time and a place in the early stages of the life of the PS4 to make statements. It was more about making a statement that we are serious about indies and that we are doing this and that with the indies. No Man's Sky and so on and so forth, which broke out from that and carved its own niche. Right now we have tons of indie content on the platform. Let's see here. But pretty much it goes on to say they felt that indies are less relevant now than at the start of the generation. And that kind of brought up the question, are indies still relevant? Now, do they still have a place in the current gaming world? Because now, we're about halfway through this generation, I'd say. Well, actually, it's kind of getting rejuvenated now because of PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, which is right around the corner. I'm still waiting to pre-order mine. Still waiting for those pre-orders to open. But where we're at now, we got the big games coming out now, right? We got the big third-party stuff. We got the big, exclusive stuff. So, do you think that indies still have a place, Chris, in this time of the generation?
Yeah. So let's
because a lot of people see them more as like gap fillers.
Yeah. So let's kind of back up a little bit. So I will always be the first person to kick Sony while they're down, because I absolutely don't like the brand or the people. However, I feel like this specific quote is almost kind of being taken a little bit out of context. I think.
Sure.
So I wanna make sure that we're not just throwing unwarranted stones. Well, what I think he's saying is that indie games are normally faster to develop than like AAA games, right? And right now, PlayStation is really focused on VR. Now, I thought they would back off of VR pretty heavily, but as we saw on E3 last week, that they actually have several brand new projects they're working on for
right.
VR, and so they're really pushing into that. So I kind of what I feel like he was trying to say. And again, I don't ever want to speak for anybody, and this is Jim Ryan that we're talking about. It's his quote, but I kind of felt like what he was saying was, we had to push indies at the time because we needed content on the platform. Now it's there. People know it's there. People are playing indie games. We don't have to focus on that anymore because that's kind of established. What we are now focusing on is VR games. So he's been kind of raked across the coals for this statement. And so I think it might be a little bit unwarranted, but that's not the question that you asked. The question you asked is, are indies still relevant, still important?
Right.
I think, and the reason I wanted to even talk about this tonight is I actually think this is a huge opportunity for Microsoft to really to kind of step up and almost kind of be the hero. If you will. And what I mean by that is now the general consensus is that Sony's not too worried about indies, but Microsoft is really pushing. You even had a couple of the ID at Xbox guys respond on Twitter, just by saying how important they find indies are. And so this could actually be really a good chance for them to maybe get some ground and get some exclusive games on the platform.
Sure. And also, at E3 they had major points in their conference where they showed pretty large chunks of indie games out there.
And they were probably
a lot of them look really great.
Yeah, they were probably the only company. I mean, Sony normally does indies.
Nintendo.
Nintendo showed.
They showed Rocket League.
Yeah, and they had
as far as full indie games go, I think
Yeah.
Microsoft had showing.
Yeah, I mean it was good. So back to the question that really matters of indie games and kind of their place in the market. I kind of see indie. Here's why I like indie games, and here's why I think they're not only are they vital and important, but why they have such a good life ahead of them, is that you get to take risk in the indie space that you don't get to take with the AAA game. So you look at something like Star Wars Battlefront 2, or you look at something like Call of Duty, and you pretty much know exactly what you're going to get, right? Because
but when you're spending that much money,
you have to, because you have to have the return on investment, right?
Yeah.
So you can't play a Call of Duty game where you spend 6 of the 8 hours running around with a knife, right?
Sure.
Because
right.
fans expect a certain type of gameplay, and if you don't deliver that, then the ramifications of you not selling enough, end up closing studios.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you can have Jonathan Blow make a game where you're basically the bad guy the whole entire time, spoilers, and something that's never really been done before, and has a lot of text on screen, and release it and become a huge kind of out of nowhere hit with Braid. And so indies have that ability where they can kind of stretch their legs. I mean, you look at a game like Limbo last year, right? I mean, Limbo was in my top 3.
Not Limbo. You're thinking of.
Oh, sorry, Inside.
Inside,
yeah. So Inside was in my top
Both
3.
Both amazing games, though.
Both amazing games, yeah. But Inside was in my top 3 games of the year last year. And there is no way that, a company like EA or Ubisoft would put, millions and millions of dollars into making that game, because it's eerie, it's a little strange, it's very dark.
That ending, man, it still haunts
me. It still does. So there's no way that they're going to do that. So the indie space allows people the freedom to bring some of these experiences. And I can be honest, man, a lot of the great experiences that I've had on the Xbox platform have come from the indie space, whether it's Limbo or or Braid, or Inside, Shadow Complex, these great indie titles over the years that have come. Costume, dude, I love Costume Quest.
Yeah, Double Fine is interesting because they're technically indie, but they make some pretty good games. They're like one of those people that's kind of like right on the line, But I agree. I mean, one of my favorite developers is Clay, right? And they made Don't Starve. Yes. And they made the Shank games. Shank games are so. I just started playing through Shank 2 again. They made Mark. Oh my gosh, I forgot how good that is.
Yeah, Shank's good. Mark of the Ninja, dude. Mark of the Ninja. They make
so many good games. I absolutely love Clay's stuff. Yeah. And there's so many awesome indie developers out there that make such consistently great games.
Yep.
But because of the big AAA stuff, sometimes they get overlooked.
Yeah. And that's the advantage that we have, because we get to get on here and we get to tell people play these games,
right?
So these are the things that I like. These are the things that really kind of keep me motivated to go forward. Today, you know what dropped on Xbox today?
I have no idea what came out today, sir. Oh yeah, dude, Broken Age.
So Broken Age
I've got that on PC and I still haven't played it.
Yeah, so it was PC and PS4 for a long time, and so I actually kind of just gave up hope that it was gonna even come to Xbox. And but yeah, it dropped on the Xbox Store today. I think it's maybe $14.99 or $19.99. Okay. But dude, that game, did you play? You said you didn't play it?
I played like I played like an hour or two of it. Man. And like it's just one of those things where I got busy, and I've got a okay PC, decent PC that runs it totally fine. Yeah. But being hunched in my computer room on my PC versus being out in the living room where it's open, and like I'm 98% sure I'm gonna rebuy this game on Xbox One just for the convenience to play it on my couch, and I mean to support Double Fine. So I love Tim Schafer stuff.
Yep.
And achievements. I can't tell you. I think I bought the Costume Quest games 3 times because I bought them on my PlayStation 3, right? Sold my PlayStation 3, got them through a Steam sale on PC, and then I think it was last Halloween or something. They had like a big sale on them on Xbox One. Now I have them on Xbox One too, so it's like I bought Costume Quest 3.
Dude,
and it's I play it every Halloween.
I love it, man. I love Costume Quest. I love stacking. Man, they're such a good game.
I totally forgot about stacking.
Yeah, such good.
Now
games.
I think Psychonauts 2 is confirmed for Xbox One. Pretty sure.
I think that it's a timed exclusive.
Okay.
But I would imagine it's going to come here for sure.
I'm hoping, because I've had it on PC, and if it comes to backwards compatibility, I'm definitely going to buy it again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the next question is, where do indies go from here? Right? I mean, are they just going to kind of be the gap fillers? I mean, do you see indies taking bigger risks? What's going to happen over the next year or two as the consoles? I mean, their consoles right now, like I said, about the midlife of their cycle right now, so they're probably like at the peak of the best games right now.
Yeah,
it always seems to happen in the middle of a generation.
This is actually what I think. I would like to see, like, indies just keep being bonkers. Whenever we watch the press conference and Microsoft showed The Last Night,
that looks amazing.
And just out of nowhere, it's this psychedelic, like, Blade Runner, just amazing pixel art game that came out of nowhere. I never heard of this game before, and I saw it, and I instantly was like, "That's all I want in my life. Like, that's what what I want. I want to play that right now." Like, I can't think.
What's the name of the game of the guy who plays guitar when he jumps?
Yeah, the Artful Escape. I think it's the Artful Escape.
Artful Escape.
Yeah, and that looks great too. I mean, I love that game because your character, your avatar, he's just smiling like a goofball the whole entire time, just playing the guitar, just chuckling it up. I really do. I want to just. I like having the indie space just because they're not beholden to games the same way that larger developers are, and you can just get some really cool experiences. And I want to keep turning on my Xbox and downloading a game that I've never really heard of before, or a game that I'm not really sure what to expect from it, and it turned out to be
like Chroma Squad.
Chroma Squad, man, as an indie game, bring it on all the time.
Now, the only thing I'm worried about, and I kind of see this happening, but not to the degree of like an iPhone or an Android store, I'm worried about it getting flooded with junk. Right? Should Microsoft put any kind of gate up and say, hey, you got to pass this certain kind of, quality test before you put you on the system? Or do you think that would just bottleneck everything and stop everybody?
I mean, I definitely want that. Yeah.
Right. Because now,
I think they have something like that, don't they?
I don't think so, because right now, from what I think the way it works, because you can use any Xbox One as a development kit. Anybody can use their Xbox One. All you have to do is there's a certain mode you can sign into on your Xbox, go on the Microsoft website, sign for the program, boom, you have a dev kit. So anybody can make a game. They even give you the tools to do it.
Yeah.
So that's good and bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes I go on what's new this week, and I click the button, and like 90% of it. Now, I'm not saying they're all bad, because I haven't played them. I don't really know, but I have played some pretty bad ones in the past, like Ethan, Meteor Hunter. Remember that game I played through?
Right.
that I did not like that game, but I mean, people liked it, and I'm not saying it was a bad game per se, because someone put a lot of time into that game, but just for me, it wasn't for me. And I'm worried that the App Store, I call it the App Store now, I'm worried the Xbox Store is going to get full of digital garbage.
Yeah,
and Chris, we all know you always like to throw out the garbage.
Yeah, of course. No, we have Rob on the chat, and he's mentioning curation, and I agree. I like it kind of being an open platform, not wide open. Like, there has to be some sort of a law and order, but I do like it just kind of being able to drop, anything that's decent, like that you can make, that you want to put on in Unity or whatever, but to have some sort of curation. And this goes back to, and I've been saying it for a while, like I like the idea of a Summer of Arcade coming back in some way, and they do things like this occasionally, but yeah, having like a chance to showcase some of those really, really great games, but more importantly, I think that's really what we get to do, and I like trying different stuff, and I like playing Ethan Meteor Hunter and telling everybody do not play this game because it's complete garbage.
Sure.
But then I like to play a game like Chroma Squad that not a lot of people are playing, and be able to come on here and be like, guys, if you like Power Rangers at all, like if you have some sort of nostalgia for the Power Ranger franchise growing up, like this is the ultimate Power Ranger game, and I absolutely love it. And I would love for to have listened to a show where somebody comes on and says, hey, this is something you should be on the lookout for. So so it actually kind of raises our job a little bit, and I'm excited about that.
Sure. And I know they've got a rating system already set up, 1 to 5 stars. You go in there and rate stuff and write reviews, but it would be nice to have some kind of editor's choice, or maybe some of the head honchos at Microsoft say, hey, this is a great game to check out. Or what if they have a place where they pick some YouTube streamers or, Mixer streamers or whoever, because I know they have, especially on Mixer with, Microsoft, they have, certain people that are dedicated streamers saying, hey, this person is with Mixer. Maybe they could pick out a game a month or something. I mean, that could be a great way to promote their stuff.
Yep,
but okay, guys, what do you guys think about indie games? Do you think there's too many on the Xbox store? Do you think there should be some kind of gate or way to kind of, check the content that's going into the store? What game do you like to play? Let us know on our Facebook group, the Xbox Dive. You can also go into our live chat like Rob's doing right now. Rob, thank you for watching the show and commenting. It is awesome. And you can also hit us up on our Twitter page at the Xbox Dive.